be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks, I'm Matt.
And I'm not Bruce.
No, you're not.
That's a receipt to a prior episode.
That's right. It's good to have you back.
Hey, it's Wes.
Hey, Bruce works too much right now.
Thank you, Bruce, for all of your essential services.
He is an essential worker. First line. Telling you.
He is your essential co-host, it seems.
Not really. You've been pretty good. You've been pretty good.
Thanks.
I've enjoyed you. I've always enjoyed having you on. In fact, we were just talking about this. I had you stop because I wanted to put this on the podcast. Bruce gave a glowing review of Masters of the Universe. He is a big He-Man fan, I will be honest. Now, before I ask you your opinion, did you like Conan the Barbarian?
Which one?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just in general, do you like Conan the Barbarian?
Yes, very much.
Okay, because Bruce was a big Conan the Barbarian fan. He enjoyed some of the comic books. He enjoyed the books. He was kind of overall ups and downs, but Conan, even the movie with Arnold, he was fine with.
Yeah, I love the movie. I was going to say the Jason Momoa one. As much of a fan of Jason Momoa I am.
No, not that one.
Not that movie.
But the comic book, did you read any of the comic books as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I subscribed to Conan and Savage Sword. Savage Sword.
Yeah. Okay. So overall big fan. And He-Man this is what we were discussing last time with him. He-Man is basically Conan, just in a different world and whatnot,
Yeah.
Big sword, slaying the monsters, getting the demons, wizards, whatever. And so that you had growing up, you had an affinity toward He-Man too, right?
Huge. I had all the toys, of course, just like everybody else. Watched the cartoon.
Besides He-Man, did you have a favorite toy?
Out of that line?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who was like, man, I can't live without this other character. Because obviously you got to have He-Man.
Yeah, I mean,
but no one else.
I can't. Well, I mean, I think the character of Skeletor is cool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the cat, Skeletor's cat, Panther, I think was his name.
Yeah.
It was like felt was on his
that.
body. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I didn't have the toys. Someone else did, but I do remember that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool stuff.
That is nice. They don't make toys like that anymore. All right, so.
I saw the movie with Dolph Lundgren in theaters. I had that poster in my room as a little boy.
Bruce liked the movie. You loved the movie too?
No.
No, you did. You had the poster.
I had the poster because before it came out. It's like a teaser poster, and it said the Star Wars of the 80s or whatever. And it was not.
It's not.
It was not the Star Wars of the 80s.
Not remembered fondly. Okay, so anticipation for Kevin Smith's He-Man, leading up before you saw an episode.
Well, I think leading up from trailers and everything, everybody was pretty jazzed. But I fell victim to internet gossip and the kind of sites that we follow, and people were pretty concerned, and there were leaks about the direction of the characters, and I felt like watching the first episode didn't speak to me.
Didn't speak to you.
No.
So you weren't impressed. In fact, you were so disappointed you'd say that...
I did not finish past episode 1.
And this is someone who's still watching episodes of Super Friends, folks. He's still watching through them. You sent me a text the other night. The time Superman is a bird.
Yes.
And the Superman costume.
Yes, and Batman is turned into a bat.
Oh, yeah.
Like Man-Bat, but not, not terrifying.
As cool. No, not as cool.
It's awful.
So you're back to watching that over the new He-Man. So that should tell you something.
If you can't do it better, don't do it again.
Now, aren't they doing another He-Man cartoon?
Right, because it's like litigation of certain people on the IPs of certain parts of this, and this ends on a certain year, and this picks up. And
okay. Wouldn't that confuse fans?
Well,
I don't know, but
it already has.
Oh, okay. I was never a big fan of He-Man, to be honest. And the reason was, I mentioned this last time with Bruce, but Prince Adam wore a shirt, He-Man did not. And that was a secret identity, and I couldn't buy into that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that part of it can be kind of difficult to follow.
Yeah. All right, so before we move on, anything else to say about He-Man?
I just think that somebody else was too many cooks in the kitchen on that project.
Is it that Kevin Smith didn't care enough?
I don't necessarily
that he
think
just got it wrong.
I don't necessarily think it's Kevin Smith. I think it's other people.
He wrote it, didn't he?
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
maybe he. I just would. I don't want to lay all the blame. It's like
that's
laying
fine.
all the blame of Star Wars on Kathleen Kennedy. I don't think it's all Kathleen Kennedy's fault.
No, it's not. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, it did not make me want to get out and play with my toys, and it didn't make me feel like I had the power. I just had the power not to watch any more of it.
Did you have the sword? The real life sword? Didn't they make a real life sword of He-Man?
I wouldn't say that I have one.
Like a toy sword?
Yeah, I had a toy sword. Yeah,
Did
it was
you
like
have the
glow
toy
in the
sword?
dark. Yeah, it was like yellow, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember there being one. Again, I didn't get He-Man toys.
Man, I had so much dumb toy junk.
I tell you what, someone bought me a He-Man. It was the mechanical spider that was battery operated.
Yeah.
And I knew it was He-Man, but we didn't buy He-Man toys. We didn't have a He-Man toy. But it didn't matter because it was a mechanical spider. It moved on its own. I thought that was so cool. So it was my villain for the Super Friends or whatnot, you know?
Well, I think part of Masters of the Universe back then, too, it had a lot of religious blowback. People had a lot of
Well, the reason we
stuff.
couldn't watch it because anything that was scary in cartoons, my brother got scared of. We couldn't watch Scooby-Doo. My little brother got scared of the ghost, even though there are humans at the end. I even explained that to Mom, but she didn't want to watch it. So I don't like Scooby-Doo because of that. But Skeletor, he got scared of Skeletor, and we couldn't watch it. Skeletor scared him, so we couldn't watch it. So we were limited to a lot of things. That that may be it. Now that I think about it, Skeletor and Scooby-Doo were probably it. I think because we watched Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon show.
That's odd.
We watched a few other things, but I guess it just wasn't scary enough. But Skeletor, that was scary. If it's a skeleton, it's scary. And then I don't remember what ghost it was in Scooby-Doo, but that was it. Mom said no more because he was so scared of the ghost. So we couldn't watch a lot of things because I'm a little brother. But I remember the spider. There's this little girl, our neighbor, who was scared of it. I turned it on for her. She screamed, run away. Well,
that made you like it even more.
Oh, well, I liked it even more. So then we put it out in the backyard, and of course she was playing, and we turned it on, and had it going toward her. She screamed, grabbed a big stick, and destroyed it. My plan, or grabbed a brick and smashed it or something with it. I mean, I couldn't stop it, and it's what I deserve for scaring a little girl, but that broke my heart. And my spider toy. So...
You're not playing with power.
I wasn't playing with power.
Nope.
Screw He-Man. I almost tore off my own short and said, by the power of Grayskull, I'm going to knock you out for that. But, oh well. Anyway, so we're going to talk about... do you still have the He-Man toys? You have a lot of your old toys.
I don't, unfortunately. No.
So no He-Man toys?
No, I don't.
Okay.
All of my stuff is kind of, over the years, between a failed marriage and all this other stuff, and moving many times, my mom dying, and that kind of stuff. You just
lost. Yeah, moved around. All right, I just wondered. Okay, so anyway, our topic here is Suicide Squad, the movie. Bruce and I were going to review this. Bruce, again, folks, Bruce is just busy right now. Work is extremely busy for him, and he does not have a spare hour. He is working close to 60 hours a week right now, I'm told, by his wife, who's the only person I can talk to right now. And when he gets off work, he's tired. He's beat. I don't blame him. So we're going to wait. It shouldn't be this long forever, but for the time being, he's just slammed at work.
It shouldn't be this long forever. That sounds like a Journey song.
Probably so. It shouldn't be this way forever, I guess I should say. But anyway, so you had seen it. And
yes.
I asked you if you'd seen it, because I saw it too. HBO Max, I'm assuming?
Correct.
We both have HBO. Okay. So the first Suicide Squad, let me back up a minute. I hated it. I outright despised it.
Yeah, it was a miss.
It was a big miss for me. Megan wanted to see it so bad. I was like, all right, but only when it comes out on rental, because I don't want to pay for that. That looks like garbage. And then we watched it, and I was like, it's worse than what I thought it would be. I mean, it's really bad. And
it's part of that long line of DC movies where it looks pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah. It looks the look of it looks cool.
It's a pretty girl with bad breath.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, oh, hey.
Hey.
Oh, well. Not what I was expecting.
And then the sequel, to be honest, I never saw any of the trailers. I never even bothered to look at anything with Suicide Squad because A, I didn't care. And B, I did not care at all. So I didn't want to watch the trailers. Bruce had suggested, hey, we're going to review this, and when it comes out, I said, I guess. And so I told Megan it was going to be work, but if you want to watch it with me, she's like, yeah, I'll watch it. But I was like, I'm not looking forward to this. Let me, pull up my phone so I can look at some apps, so I can download a game to play while it's playing in the background. I really thought it was going to suck. And I ended up liking it.
I liked it better than the other one.
Oh, I like it way better than the other one, of course. But I didn't expect to even like it better than the other one. I thought it was going to be just as trashy as the first one. And it's a passable movie. And I mean, it's not saying much, but let me think about this. It may be my favorite DC movie, but I don't have a high opinion of any of the new DC movies. Like Aquaman was leading in that category, and you put Aquaman in the Marvel universe, and it's a subpar movie. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't think it's not better than Wonder Woman by any means.
I didn't like Wonder Woman, the first one. And you've seen WW84.
Yes.
What a disaster. What a nightmare.
It wasn't Empire Strikes Back, that's for sure.
But, so anyway, for me, this one is my favorite. Again, that's not saying much. But, I know that you got James Gunn. It's an R-rated Guardians of the Galaxy, is what it is. It's R-rated Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the best way I can describe it. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I think they're fun. Mm-hmm. And this one's the same thing, but just R-rated, is how I felt. I didn't know any of the... Oh, wait, we're going to do spoilers. I should mention that.
I would think anybody listening to this has already been spoiled.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. But the first decoy crew that was out, I didn't know any of them, except for Captain Boomerang, because he was in the first one.
Yeah.
Was that the same actor from the first one? I don't remember the first one. I remember Captain Boomerang was in it.
I think what works for this is kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, where you're taking a lot of like
D characters, or F even.
Yeah, and not as in fantastic, and doing something with them. So your expectations don't have to be so heightened.
But even with the new crew, I didn't know who John Cena's character was. The only reason I knew who the other guy, the other sharpshooter was because they said he shot Superman. I went, okay, he's a Superman villain. I knew Ratcatcher was Batman. Obviously, I didn't know Ratcatcher 2, the daughter, but
I wasn't.
I knew the name Ratcatcher was a Batman guy, a Batman villain, and then of course Harley Quinn was Batman. You knew that. What was the other ones?
The Shark.
The Shark. I couldn't put my finger on. It's like I don't know who it is, and then I kicked myself when I found out because my brother used to read Superboy, and King Shark was in it. A couple of times. My brother loved Superboy. That was one of the. He was a. What I don't know, he got Superboy, Robin, all the younger
Teen Titans,
the Teen Titan singles, issues that's what he would follow.
Did he like Superboy when he wore the leather jacket?
The undercut, that was it. That was it.
The earring.
Yep, and the little rim glasses. The I am 1993.
It wasn't 93 though.
Well, no, it was 98.
I know.
But he was a big one of those. Impulse. He also bought Impulse 2. So all those former sidekicks now getting their own story. That was up my brother's alley, and he got that kind of stuff. And I should have known King Shark because I remember seeing it, going, "Wait, Superboy's fighting a shark? What? A Shark Man or whatever?" So, and to be honest, all the characters mix. You actually kind of care about them, unlike the first one. First one, I didn't get any sense of. I didn't care about any of them.
No emotional connection.
I can't think of her name, Margot Robbie, who plays Harley Quinn. She does a great job. She's good, but she is way overused.
Yeah, I think she even said that she's toast after this. No more of it.
Oh, really? She's done after that. Okay. Well, that was because they kind of, in Birds of Prey.
That might be rumor and innuendo. I don't know, but as far as I know.
Well, in Birds of Prey, which sucked, it was basically the Harley show. And it was too much of Harley.
Right, yeah.
Like, you don't need that much. And it was just all her giving one crazy punchline after the next.
Well, that was how it was kind of in the first Suicide Squad.
It was like that, too. She was delivering the punchlines and got old quick.
Yeah,
And so this time they backed away and gave a few... Oh, the Polka Dot Man. That was a Batman villain, too, from the 60s, I think.
Yeah.
And I knew that one because I'd seen I'd seen an article on most ridiculous Batman villains. So the rest, that giving a spotlight on the rest of them, and it's kind of Harley Quinn sharing that spotlight a little bit, but not being in the spotlight completely, was good. The only time they went above and beyond the whole capture scene, she's got to kill everyone, cartoon butterflies. I get it. She's crazy. But again, I was thinking, they kind of used a little too much. It's like when you put a little too much seasoning in whatever, and it just salt in the soup, and it's just salty.
I think it's what goes to is too many, like I said about Masters of the Universe and all these other big franchises. It's too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, there's not one person kind of that has like a producer and executive.
Right.
We're gonna hand this over. It's like 9 people. Well, I got to get mine in now.
That's true. Yeah, well, everyone has a time to shine. And I don't mind that because it's a Suicide Squad. They're basically all individual characters banded together. And so to give them their own storyline, for me, it wasn't that bad. And Harley Quinn there's still a little bit too much of her than I wanted. Right. But other than that, it was better balanced than any other thing I've seen Harley Quinn in. Much better balanced. I appreciated Starro, the original, Justice League villain.
Yeah,
and his original pink look from the 60s. And when you're having a campy, and that's what James Gunn was going for, completely camp.
Yeah.
That's why they kept in their, that's another thing. They didn't try to hide how silly their costumes look. I can't remember his name right now. Was it Justifier or something, or Protector, or whoever John Cena's character was.
When he had the toilet seat on.
Yeah, he kept wearing that, but he stayed in costume.
Sure.
Usually, it's cool to take off your costume or have a real world suit that you wear and be as far disconnected from the original costume as possible.
It looked like cosplay.
Yeah, it did.
Like if you saw somebody at Comic-Con that did a really good job.
And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing the campy dress-up thing, Polka Dot Man too. I was like, oh, right on.
Right, there's something endearing about that.
And they didn't try to make them cool.
Too grand. They don't want to be too grand.
Yeah. If only they could get Harley Quinn back into her, Chester's outfit.
Yeah.
But she's got to be the punk rock girl because she's the one that sells the posters and everyone goes to see. I do like Harley Quinn because of the Batman animated series, but she is like Deadpool at Comic Cons. She is way overused.
Yeah, we touched on that on the Batman episode.
Oh yeah. But other than that, let me see. Starro I thought was great. There's pink and everything. What did you think of Starro?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought that, like you said, they kind of kept it a little silly in some parts of it.
And you have to when you're talking about a starfish from another planet.
Right.
Because that didn't play well.
And to me, it reminded me of the Watchmen book, the original ending in that.
Oh.
And how they changed that in the movies where, giant squids and all that stuff. So it wasn't too far off base for me to suspend my disbelief.
Mm-mm. And the base of silliness, it's nice to see Starro, who is well known in comic book world, if you like Justice League and stuff. You remember he was one of them. It is a scary idea, but if you had to do it in today's world, you'd have to make it all... You couldn't make him a pink and blue starfish.
Right.
Like you could in the comic book. You had to dress him up, make him more menacing. But for this type of movie, it's good.
I thought all of it, the colors were very... It was like...
Yes.
Like your superpower shirt.
It's like
It wasn't quite as primary colors, but it was very...
pastel pink.
Yeah, it was very there.
So to speak. No, I really enjoyed it. King Shark? Stallone? Anything?
Meh.
No? I enjoyed him.
I liked it. I just...
So what did you dislike about it? Let's go with that then. Because obviously you didn't like it as much as I did.
No, I didn't like it as much as you did.
And I'm not saying this is the best comic book movie in the world. I'm just saying for DC, exceeded expectations.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think it came across to me like if we got another Guardians of the Galaxy which is supposedly going to happen at some point.
Right. But I think James Gunn couldn't do this in Marvel, and he knew that. And so he goes, okay, can I make a lot of dirty jokes? And
that's how relationships are. You can't do it here, but you can do it over here. Marvel and DC, or you can change their names to
that's true.
Blank and blank.
But I don't. In this one, I don't think there was that much studio interference. It seems like it was James Gunn just wanting to make his movie, because it was very James Gunn.
Yeah,
it was very. I mean, I didn't feel like there was a studio involved saying, no, you need to make this realistic. No, I mean, they could have been saying, make sure you have Harley Quinn do this. I'm sure that was said. I'm sure that make sure you have plenty of Harley Quinn. You're missing Harley Quinn. Put in more Harley Quinn. They love Harley Quinn. Didn't they change Birds of Prey to Harley Quinn in the Birds of Prey or something when it came out on DVD?
Yeah.
Just so it would sell more. I hate that, but okay. So, so what else about this movie? I've been talking about, but you seem reserved.
Well, I mean,
it's okay if you didn't like it as much.
Well, I know it's a safe place. I can be honest here. Thank you, guidance counselor.
There you go. This is a safe space here. Yeah.
Your hair is safe now. It's very disturbing to me. Cut it.
He's upset I cut my hair.
Anyway, I like the scene where they went in and they wiped everybody out who they thought was the villain, and then they got up and they're like, oh, that's like our rescue fighters. And they're like, oh, well, we just killed all of them.
Yeah.
I thought it was like stuff like that was very... Yeah, I mean, it was much more lighthearted than the last one. And I think that when you take D-level characters, you don't have to make everything so important, like end of the world kind of thing. It works a little bit better that way.
And this was a end of the world. I put quotation marks around it, because Starro is a big threat.
Sure, of course.
But again, he's a ridiculous character.
But they're building up to that at that point.
Yeah, and I didn't mind it. That the javelin joke paid off at the end. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I got it. Unfortunately, it was more Harley Quinn time, which I was kind of done with her at that point. Polka Dot Man's demise was really good, And
they built enough intrigue into his character by kind of saying it was kind of how silly it was, and how screwed up he was.
Yeah, how screwed up he was. Everyone looks like his mom. That was funny. That was a funny concept, and they didn't overuse it. And the times they used it was great. Him dancing in the club was great, and then him looking at the Suicide Squad, and they're all dressed as his mom's dressed as each one of them. That was funny. Those were good moments. But I remember I was really surprised watching this movie and saying, oh, this is actually enjoyable and bearable. And by the way, I should preface again, I always feel like I should preface this. I come down hard on the DC movies, but I am a DC fan. I think we're both more DC than we are Marvel. No, you're more Marvel?
I'd say half and half.
Okay. I'm way more DC fan. That was all the comic books I bought were DC, except for some Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I bought some Spider-Man. I dabbled in Spider-Man here and there, not much, here and there. But mainly, I stuck to Batman. I stuck to, I bought Green Lantern for a while. Any of the big crossover series that came out.
I just like the fact that the movie was not as epic, and it seems like DC movies constantly feel like they need a lot going on.
Right.
And it just needs to be a little bit more of a 90 minutes tops.
Let me ask you, slightly off topic, still talking about DC stuff and HBO Max. Do you watch any of the TV shows there? We talked about this a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, I watched Titans, but I can't watch anymore. I can't watch I know season 3's come out.
Yeah, but see, I love Titans. You don't.
Right, I cannot stand it. They never get in their costumes for the first 2 seasons hardly, and it's just sit around and talk because we don't have money to do CGI effects or fight. So we'll have one fight at the end, some little stuff here and there to keep you interested.
I think they do a really good job with the. If you're a Batman fan,
well, here's the thing: if it was just called, they should have called the series Robin. Robin's interesting. His matured to. I mean,
maybe if they called it Dick, people would think it was something else.
I'd love that actually. DC's Dick, and then you'd be watching it.
Yeah, if anybody's going to watch it, would probably think it would be me.
It'd be a long-running series.
I should have known Wes was watching it.
But, I mean, Robin's interesting. His transition to Nightwing was interesting, very slow. Jason Todd has done perfect. I love Jason Todd in it. And Jason Todd's, I'm guessing, eventual downfall and stuff would be great too. But some of the stuff with that, and even the older Batman, I wasn't that keen on. But
that's a good way to not have him in the costume, though.
yeah. But the thing is, though, overall, if it had just been focused on Robin, then you wouldn't have to worry about showing some. You got these Starfire is just a total miss in this, and so is Beast Boy.
Heath Fudge is not a fan of the Starfire.
The Starfire is awful, and character too. And Beast Boy can be funny and cute, but the thing is, though, you're going to see him morph at the beginning and then at the last episode because they don't have the money. And you'll get he morphs in and out of character off screen, and it's just done really cheap. A show that.
See, I don't carry all this resentment toward the show the way you do.
I do. Now, Doom Patrol, you said you watched that too?
I did. I liked it.
You liked that one.
Yeah.
I've heard better things about Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Now, Doom Patrol did a cameo on Titans before they got their own show, right? I remember Doom Patrol being in one episode at the beginning, I think.
Possibly.
I think so. I wasn't impressed with Doom Patrol, so I didn't watch it, but you liked that one. I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Still good?
Well, Doom Patrol's on it's not going right now.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I'm watching Titan Season 3. It's really good.
Oh, okay. I couldn't do it anymore. It just drug way too.
Yeah, you had to, if I was watching it at the beginning and not had kind of how they're doing the episodes one a week now.
Yeah.
So if I would have started Titan Season 1, it took me 10 weeks or 8 weeks to get to seeing Nightwing. I probably would have been like
2 seasons to see Nightwing. The end of season 2, the last 30 minutes.
We got to get
20.
this going.
Yeah, when he burns the costume at the end of season 1, you think, okay, Nightwing is the beginning of season 2. No, Nightwing is teased all the way to the last few minutes of the last episode, and I was like, oh, I'm done.
Well, once again, like we said, DC may try to get too much out of things.
Yeah, that's right. This was what was it called before it went to HBO Max? It's called DC something.
I was on the WB or something.
No. It was a streaming service for DC. You had it.
Yeah.
This is how it first started. Because I got the trial thing after you talked to me about it. Because it had Super Friends on it.
Yeah,
you told me that.
Remember.
It had the one reason I wanted to see it was, and I told you about this too, Static Shock. Because I wanted to see that was from the DC animated universe, which I love, and I never saw it because it looked dumb. And I was right. It is dumb. But it is from the same people who did the DC universe, but that one was a miss. But so it didn't work out. What was it called again? Did you get the name? Did you remember the name? Anyway, you had subscribed. I had gotten the free trial and everything, and I was not impressed. But you were with a lot of the shows there. They don't have anything else on. Oh, Stargirl, that's on there, isn't it?
I hadn't watched that.
Okay, I'm not interested in Stargirl.
Well, there's just I don't want to be typecast in this, but it's just too many female-driven.
Yeah, there's a lot of those out right now.
Super hero.
Yeah.
Which God bless, jeez. Easy for me to say. God bless Carrie Fisher. I mean, there's no greater hero than that.
No. Mary Poppins herself.
Well, that's because there's another cook in the kitchen that wanted to cook it their way.
I don't know. It was something in the kitchen. I don't know if it was a cook. It was an imposter in that kitchen, I hear. But, okay, so overall, Suicide Squad, I would recommend it if you haven't seen it. I haven't ruined too much of the storyline overall. It seemed fine to me. You?
I think it's good for people that aren't ridiculous about comic book movies because it pokes fun at itself, so you don't feel like
that's true.
Overly guilty about having to be so passionate about this.
That's true, but I also feel that big comic book lovers would love it too because it's all the random characters you never thought you'd see.
Right.
And some of them you don't even know, like me. I didn't even know a few of them.
That's why I think it works. It's not epic.
And it doesn't need to be because they're just
not 2.5 hours
They know
long.
who they are. They know what the characters they're working with. They know what they got, so they may as well have fun with it. That's what it seemed like to me. You know, these are all low-rent characters that no one knows. Like Guardians, no one knew the name Guardians of the Galaxy before that movie came out.
Sure,
no one knew who they were.
Yeah.
And now they made them popular, so they're kind of doing the same way. And bravo, I always like when an old, forgotten character gets a new life. So maybe Stiltman is coming to the MCU.
We can only hope.
All right, folks. We'll see you next time on Princes of the Universe.